it's Rita from Rita Unfiltered. So, now that we've been on this whole social media journey, I had to put back all these socials back on my phone. One of the things that I have been seeing right now is this whole 100 men fighting a gorilla. Please make that make some sense. I don't even understand how that makes sense. I feel like some of these zoologists and the veterinarians need to jump into this conversation because it doesn't make no sense, right? I have been to Rwanda and I have climbed up those Viringo volcanoes to go gorilla trekking because I had taken this really amazing class when I was in undergrad. And so ever since then, I've always wanted to see these guys, right? So I've seen my chimpanzees, I've seen my orangutans in Borneo, I have seen the gorillas in Rwanda, all right? So you fly into Kigali, and then you've got to drive to the volcano. Rwandese side, Ugandan side, I have heard that they're very kind of relaxed with how they go up to the gorillas, and apparently it's an easier trek. DRC Congo, my Congolese brothers have not gotten it together properly, so I cannot say, but the Rwandese side have got this on lock. First of all, you can't just rock up and just be like, hey, I'm here, I want to go see the gorillas. That's not how it works. You actually have to go and get permits, all right? The permits are not cheap at all. And we went each day per person, $750 USD per person per day. Now it is literally $1,500. Now you go in the morning and you meet at the bottom of the volcanoes, right? And then the guides throughout the night are watching the different troops and going and seeing where they are, right? You got your big back silverback gorilla, he's head honcho, and you got all his ladies, all his women's, and then all his kids in them, right? Because again, this is king of the jungle. That's what I'm saying. Y'all who keep saying that y'all can fight a gorilla, ooh. So anyways, they'll break you down. I was like, y'all put me on the easiest route to get up there. And then you had a lot of these people, they were like real hikers. They came with gear, y'all. Thank God my mom came with all this stuff because I was literally over there with a pair of Nikes and was like, hey, we're gonna go up there. You can also hire a porter. If you ever go on this thing, I'm telling you, just hire the porter. Stop trying to be somebody Superman. I mean, this is bush, all right? All your porters are lined up. I got one for myself. I got one for my mama. Now, there were some of the whites where, it's like, oh, I can do this. And they were like, I don't need it. They needed it. They break you down. Easy, medium, hard. We were in the easy group. And that shit really wasn't even really that easy, okay? Even as easy, it wasn't that easy. Now what you do is you've got to go up to where they are. It wasn't like a nice little hill. It's nothing like nobody's Disney World, nothing. It was literally bled out. We're going up. And it's with all of the elements, right? You've got your guide in the front where he's got his big old machete and he's just whacking stuff. They have an idea of where you're going, but also keep in mind that these troops are moving around, right? You got to trek to them. And then once you get to them, you are allowed only 1 hour to be with these animals, okay? These animals are huge. It's different when you see them on the TV and you're seeing them from far. When you are in these people's homes, please understand that you are a nobody. You ain't shit. If these guys decide to turn up, good luck to you. So one of our main guides, he had said that what you should do is on your first day when you go up, that's when you take all of your photos, right? Then your second day is when you do not take any photos, just watch the animals. So I'm really glad that I took this guy's advice, right? It probably took us 2.5, 3 hours before we found these gorillas. And mind you, in all of this stuff, you're going through mud, you're going through water, you're going through leaves. Thank God I had me a big, strong buck African porter because literally at one point I was like, all right, here you go. You just got to hold everything. So we're going up. And then the guide heard him. And then he was like, just stop, just wait. So we stopped. And then they just started coming out. It was amazing. Okay, it was amazing. Here comes that big back silverback. And that is what I'm saying. I don't understand what people saying that they could beat one of these things, all right? Now, if maybe these 100 men had guns and knives and ropes and shit that you can trick somebody, all right, fine. But 100 regular people against one of these gorillas? Ooh. Wait till the man just opens his mouth and you see the canines, all right? The canines are like the size of my freaking palm. And then wait till you see how big these things are. Now keep in mind, right? They run everything up there. There is nobody bigger than him up there. So he not worried about nothing. You understand what I'm saying? So even the guys, they were like, don't move when they come up to you. If they come near you, don't move. So I remember my mom was right next to me. Yo, one of these big bucks, silverbacks, walked right by her. And my man was just like, she ain't nobody to me. if she starts some shit, she ain't gonna get out of here, okay? When you're looking in their faces, when you're looking at their eyes, it feels like you're looking like, especially like the little babies, you feel like you're looking at like little babies and like human babies because their little eyes are so big and round and they're so playful and they're so curious and they're just like sussing you out. And like, you know, big back silverback daddy is over here chilling. He's not worried about you. It was one of the best experiences I have ever had in my life. I believe that they said there's only like 400 gorillas left at all, and once they're all dead, it's like literally these species are extinct. So anyways, after your hour is done, then you know you gotta go back down, right? Dense jungle. It's just amazing to feel so small. And then you go back down, hotel stay and all of that afterwards is creme de la creme, okay? So then the next day I woke up to go, my mom was in the bed. I was like, bro, what's up? And she's like, oh, no, I'm not going. She said, I went up there. She was like, I'm happy I did it. I cannot do day 2. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna go. So now I go day 2, I'm meeting up with my new group. It's like filled with, you know, older whites. And, you know, all these older whites were like, I don't need a guide. And I was like, y'all better get y'all a guide. I was just up there yesterday. I'm glad I got me a guide. Run me another one today. So, you know, having them like, oh, we don't need to. It's like, all right, well, you do you. We started going upstairs. Let me tell you something. Half them ladies started pausing and passing out, okay? Now they're looking at me, you know, the pleading in their eyes, like, Rita. I was like, you want my porter, don't you? And I was like, porter, help these poor old people. Just help them. So anyway, so now on the second day, because I'd already taken all of my pictures on the first day, on the second day when we finally got to our troops, I didn't take any photos. I just sat. And I'm so glad that I did it. So all of these little babies that were like so curious to know what you want, I literally had this one baby that came up to me, up to my shoe, and then like slapped my shoe. Naturally, I kind of pissed myself because again, your mama's somewhere around here. I don't want no smoke, and also daddy somewhere around here too. So when the kid came and hit me, you know, the guy was like, don't touch him. I was like, I'm not gonna touch him. I'm good. I'm chilling, right? And then it was crazy too because in that group, the big back silverback was making all these sounds. He started coughing, he was coughing, and then he did this like yawn.
And or does nature take care of itself? He's sick.
When I tell you all his teeth and everything was out, and I was like, are we supposed to run? And the guy was like, no, he's actually sick, he has pneumonia. So what's really trippy is that because gorillas are quite related to us, our dirtbag, dirty human diseases, they can get them too. So this gorilla had pneumonia. And one of the local doctors, like one of the vets, had been trying to treat him and all of that. And so that's why he was like coughing like us. Just like really, really amazing. Now, when we were going back down on the second one, it was incredible. There was this one point where we were inside of the volcano, you know, like on the side going through, and we're in this big bush. And then we went out to this clearing, right? You could just see all of the volcanoes around, just rolling up and down with just like this dense bush on top. I felt like I was dead ass inside of a National Geographic magazine. Like it was wild. And then that trek going back down was so hard, bro. When I tell y'all I fell inside of a hole, my leg was inside of some bush and that was brush up to my thigh. That's how deep this thing was. And I could not see it while I was walking. I was like, sir, it's time to go. It's time to go. And if it's something that is of interest to you, I definitely suggest that you go up there and go see it and go do it. Really immerse yourself. For me, like I said, it was one of the best experiences I've ever had. And again, for all y'all who thinks y'all could fight you a gorilla, please go up inside and then go see them and then come back and let me know if you're gonna beat some gorilla's ass, because it's not happening. Anyways, Rwanda, gorilla trekking. Go do it.